There was a time in my life not too long ago when I was pre-diabetic, extremely unhealthy, and feeling low energy all the time. I have to say, it's much more exciting knowing how to use food to live vibrantly, happy, and healthy every day. My name is Adam Hart, and I want to welcome you to the power of food. Everybody, awesome to have you here. Adam Hart, best-selling author of The Power of Food, 100 plant-based recipes, get you feeling super fantastic. Really happy you're here. This is the Power of Food Cooking Show. Today I want to introduce you to a lunch idea that you might not be currently thinking about. You know, many times when we think about lunch, it's often, well, let's go get a wrap, let's go get a salad, let's go get something that might not be as nourishing as it can be. And so what I want for you is I want you to be able to get into your afternoon. If you want to get out for a bike ride or run, I want that to be a nourishment. If you're gonna, if you're working at your office and you're just trying to find a way to survive to the end of the day, well, I want you to eat something that's actually gonna give you productivity. It's gonna give your head a little bit of that clarity that you want to be able to be more productive and feel fantastic. That's what it's all about. We have one life to live, so if you don't feel fantastic, what's the point? So I'm gonna share with you today a recipe that's inside the Power Food. It's for the pumpkin seed pâté. Fantastic option to nourish where you're not giving anything up. And that's my model, and I think you guys know that already. If not, watch all these episodes to learn more about that idea. But here it is. What I'm talking about is don't change anything in your diet. It's all a matter of what can I add into my diet that's gonna nourish, that's gonna actually help stabilize the blood sugar based on the protein, essential fatty acids, the good quality carbohydrates, as opposed to what we tend to eat, which is a lot of that heavily processed stuff that just gives you that all day long. So if you suffer from the mid-afternoon crashes, you know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna get right into this recipe. Again, it's pumpkin seed pâté. So in the recipe, inside the Power Food, it does call to soak the pumpkin seeds for, if you can, for 24 hours. I didn't do that today. It's not necessary. You don't have to do that. It's an extra step that might hold you back from actually doing the recipe. But I threw in some pumpkin seeds. That's about a cup and a half or a cup and a quarter. Pumpkin seeds are really just one of those seeds in my world that I use to nourish myself in a way where I get the protein, good fiber source, actually a lot of iron inside pumpkin seeds. We don't tend to know that, but huge amount. I just threw in some Himalayan crystal salt as well. Really, really, really great stuff. The salt, being an electrolyte, it is energizing. So not table salt. Table salt, the white table salt, that's really actually quite detrimental to your health, so we want to avoid that. But if you're eating a sea salt, a rock salt, it definitely goes a farther way because it's got a lot of key nutrients and acts like an electrolyte. So I actually start my morning, just so you know this, besides doing the hemp milks and the smoothies, I'll actually start with a warm glass of lemon water, and that's what I'm doing here is I'm getting a lemon prepared for this. I'll start with a warm glass of lemon water with a little bit of Himalayan crystal salt right in there, and that just fires up the cells to get me going, gets the digestion going too, which is so critical. People often ask me, Adam, are you a vegetarian? Are you a vegan? Are you a raw foodie? And I'm none of the above. I call myself a digestitarian. What does that mean, a digestitarian? Essentially, I like to eat things that make it as easy on my digestion as possible. Because if something is easier for you to digest, you know what's the result? What does that convert into? And about the hundreds of presentations I've done over the past 10 years or so, that's the number one result people want more of is, what is it? Energy, right? We all want more energy. So the idea behind what we're doing here is all about more energy, more energy, more energy. And that digestion part is critical because it does lead to more energy. Okay, we're gonna just throw in a garlic here. That's the way I like to do my garlic. I just push really hard on it and then I chop it up. If anybody has any other suggestions on a quicker, easier way, I'm open to learning. That's a great thing about the position I'm in is I'm always open to learn from others. So if you ever watch any of these episodes and you have a suggestion, please don't feel shy to share it. I want to know any way to enhance this experience with food. I mean, it's such a powerful relationship that we have with food, that it's intimate, and I'm keen to know what your relationship is with food. Okay, I'm going to just grate a little bit of turmeric. Turmeric is a really fantastic anti-inflammatory, really boosts the cell structure in extremely powerful ways. If you want to learn more about turmeric, just go online, do any Google search on turmeric, and you realize how powerful it is. And as far as the ancient power, it's been used for centuries as far as a medicinal root. And I'm going to grate a little bit of ginger as well. Now, when I make this recipe, I tend to do a lot of ginger and a lot of turmeric, and that's because when I consume it, it does ignite my cells. It makes me feel fantastic. And you know, I'm all about trying to do it a little bit more alkalining, a little bit more power inside the body. Now we're going to throw in a little bit of hemp seeds in there as well, or hemp oil. Again, I'm a big fan of hemp. If you didn't know that, that's about a quarter cup in there. I'm eyeballing. Not a big fan of measurements. In the Power Food book, it does give you all the straight up measurements, but for me, you know, you just get into this routine where you just learn what to throw in and how it all starts to kind of mold together. So it's a nice place to be. You just got to get in your kitchen and keep trying it. Okay, so we've got our hemp oil, great source of omega-3 and omega-6 essential fatty acids. Now I've got myself some beautiful parsley. Parsley is just an unbelievable herb, really great for detoxifying the body and getting rid of heavy metals in the body. So I actually juice quite a bit of parsley, but nothing wrong with also adding it into dishes. I'll make lots of soups with it. I'll even throw it into smoothies sometimes. I don't know if you guys caught that hemp episode, but in there I showed how you can just add basil to a smoothie, and fantastic. Okay, so we got a nice mix. Now essentially what we're doing is we're creating a pumpkin seed pâté. Now I'm going to do something with this that you might not know. If you've got the Power Food book, you probably know where I'm going to put it, but I want to show you in a few minutes where it's going to go. Now you can add some cayenne, that's what that is there. I'm just going to put in a little bit. Now with my kids, I have 2 young kids, cayenne does not go over well for obvious reasons. So I just put a little bit in, that's strictly for myself. I've got the lemons, we got the salt, pumpkin seeds, and I'm going to turn that on. We'll see how it goes. All right, and I throw that into my food processor. Looks fantastic. I'm just going to scrape the sides down. Now, if you want, the recipe in the Power Food does call for a little bit of honey. If you want to have it a little bit sweet, you can do that just to counteract the cayenne. Now, if you're not going to use cayenne, you don't need to add in some sweet. And if you do add cayenne, you still don't need to add in sweet. I just have a sweet tooth, so that's why I do it. You say, well, how is that possible? How do you have a sweet tooth, Adam? Well, you know, I have that history of being very unhealthy and addicted to sugar. And I allow myself to still have the sweets if I want the sweets. I just know that all I need to do is add in something of value. So if I added in something that might spike my insulin into here, it's amazing because it doesn't have the same impact because it has all these great nutritional foods, the parsley, we've got the pumpkin seeds. You know, everything that's in there is going to help counteract whatever the sweet part might be. Okay, I'm going to throw this into a bowl here, just so you guys can get a better look at what that looks like. You can blend it up even more if you choose to, but this is actually quite perfect the way it is. Look at that. That looks fantastic. Super green, just nourishing. You know that anything that you eat that's green, as long as it's not mold, as far as our food goes, plant-based, you know, the veggies, the dark green vegetables, pumpkin seeds, all these herbs, they're just so nourishing on the body. And I say that word nourishing a lot because for me, nourishment means energy. It's all about more energy. And that's what that essentially is going to do. It's going to give you tons and tons of energy, ignite the cell structure, you know, and as long as you're being mindful and you're connected to what you're doing, you know, as you make these types of foods and have that mindful relationship to it, it's going to actually go on a much deeper level cell structure wise. So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about getting a bit of a deeper connection with your food. Okay, so what are we going to do with that now? Am I going to throw that on a piece of toast, into a wrap? Am I going to put it onto a bagel or something, or crackers? None of the above. I don't want to eat more processed, you know, grain-based, whatever it is, because it's just going to spike my insulin and give me a crash. You can do that because this will counteract the spike because of the protein and essential fatty acids in there, but I don't want that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use these guys. What is that? Well, Swiss chard. Now, chard is just such a fantastic plant-based food, obviously a vegetable, lots of great protein, protein, calcium, iron, great fiber source. So why not try it? Instead of using bread, just grab yourself some chard. Most local grocery stores nowadays have a beautiful selection of these types of dark green leafy vegetables, and this is extremely alkalining. So what you can do is you can shave down the stem on the inside here just to make it easier to roll up, because when you plant some of the pumpkin seed pate in there and then try and roll it up, it might start to crack in the middle, which is totally fine. It still goes down the same. Now that's a pretty big portion, what I've just done there. But still, just for an example to show you, all you do is you just close that up. Now you got yourself a fantastic lunch. It's like a sandwich, but you're not using any bread, any processed food, and just straight up nourishment. So I'm just going to leave that there, and we'll just do one more. Now if I'm going to present this, I'll usually put toothpicks in it if I'm doing a corporate wellness event and I'm providing some food. I'll make it look fancy, but for us here, this is not about being fancy, it's about feeling good. And that's what this food does. It just makes you feel fantastic. So, you get in the kitchen, you try it out. If it doesn't work, you get back in there. Every time you're in the kitchen and you're playing with these types of foods, it's an act of nourishment. There's that word again, energy. But on a deeper level, it's more than just nourishment. It's an act of love. And I know, I say that word and I stand in front of a lot of corporations and I say that word love, and that's my bracelet right there. It says right on there, love. That's at the heart of how I have recovered from being pre-diabetic and overweight and suffering with depression, is learning how to love myself. Nutrition is the number one way, the number one tool that I have used over the years to love myself. So I want that for you too. Just start to play around a little bit more with these types of plant-based foods, and you'll find that making yourself a Swiss chard pumpkin seed pate wrap, it's not that crazy after all, and it tastes fantastic. So, so good. So good. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. Pumpkin seed pate in some chard. A great alternative from all the sandwiches and other processed foods that you're eating. And if you like that tip, just let me know. Adam@powerfood.com. Love to hear from you. I got a big full mouth of food here. But I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for joining me.